Hey, and welcome to another market analysis video. And today we'll be looking at a few things, I think, since this long correction has been taking place. Let's look at the cycles. I think the cycles are very important in terms of time. We'll look at the Bitcoin price and also some of the the main altcoin charts as well. So when what I want to get into is the actual time cycles of Bitcoin and where price is in relation to the last two cycles and this cycle, because there's still a lot of people out there who ask me questions and they've come to the point where this is just like this price cycle and the halving the pre-halving pump or dump or whatnot. But I just want to show you the facts, because these are actual facts in the chart. Whether Bitcoin is going to go into 2025 and make a new all-time high, or what I believe in 2024 will be the macro top of Bitcoin. Obviously that remains to be seen, and that I can be right or wrong in that, which is fair enough, which is fine. But the main point I want to bring across is the actual time cycles. Now, if I show you here, so what I've done on the last three cycles, right, especially the last two cycles, I've put the exact time of how long they've been, and the last two cycles have matched up, in terms of the same time from the top to the bottom, okay, and then how long subsequently the cycles have lasted. And generally, you get the different values here. You get the 0.382 in time, 0.5, 618, 786, and the 1-to-1. Okay, and the last cycle, especially the 2021 cycle, it ended at the 1-to-1 from this cycle here. Okay, so both cycles were exactly the same, right translated cycles, and they followed this very similar pattern when you look at both of them in detail. And what I'll show you here is what I mean. So we had the halvings for both cycles after the 382, which is after the 16th, after February 2016, okay, and back in 2020 we had it after January 2020. I think the halving was around April or May or something around that time, okay, and similar to here, the halving I think was February or March or something along those lines, but it was after the 382. And what you notice in both of these cycles, okay, so you had the 0236 is when trends start shifting, then you have the 382 in time, then the 0.5, the midway point of the cycle, you can say, coming towards the end, 618, 786, and the 1-to-1. And if you notice on both of the cycles, right, and this is something that's very, very key, important to understand, is that once we get to you can say past the midway point of the cycle in both of them, right? So you got the 0.5 here, and then you get past the midway point of the cycle. That's when the parabolic move is hitting. So after the midway point, get to the 618, and then the 786, and then you go parabolic. You look here again, the midway point's here, 618. Parabolic, and then here, which is interesting, is that the 786 had the correction and then up to the 1-to-1 with the final top here. Now, if you're looking at this current cycle, let's look at Bitcoin price, in this time as well. So, if we take the first cycle at the 382 in time, okay, let's see where it intersects. So price was nowhere near the previous all-time high, nowhere near. It's not even, you can't even say it's close. Price hit the all-time high after the 618 in time, okay, so in the 618 of the first cycle. Now let's look at the next cycle here as well. So put another line here for the all-time high. So in this cycle, we can say price hit the all-time high after the 618, okay, in the 618 time, between the 618 and the 786. And in this cycle, let's see the all-time high again. Where was it hit? At the 618, between the 618 and the 786. So again, the all-time high was hit well after the midway point, and in time-wise, the 618, which is obviously the golden ratio for time wise. So let's just let me just put that into another color, right? So just so we know where the all-time highs are, and then we'll look at this current cycle as well, when all-time high was hit. So the new cycle, now we're in this new cycle, right? If we're going by the last two cycles, let's put the all-time high, let's just make it really accurate. All-time high is there. Okay, if we're looking at this current cycle now, and a lot of people are saying it's the same, there's no difference, and blah blah blah. Okay, so the 1-to-1, technically the cycle should finish between the 786, okay, and the 1-to-1. So that gives us between April 2025 till November 2025. Okay, in this time period, the last time period of the cycle. But now let's look. We're at the 382. The halving is again today. To be honest, is today in about 5-6 hours time, and it's not really like the other cycles at all, because we actually have hit the top after the 382, which is 2 time periods quicker. Okay, so you got a time period of the 0.5 and the 618. So it's 2 time periods quicker than this cycle here, which was again after the 618, as you can see, November 2020, and the cycle before after the 618 again, and that was in March 2017. So now, okay, that's we've understood that now. Okay, so the all-time high is actually in the time period of the 382. Now, what does that mean from here? Does that mean we are going to get a massive run up that's going to go to, you know, a $300,000, $500,000, $1 million Bitcoin? You know, some people they might not be saying $1 million, but you know, they're easily saying like $300,000, maybe $250,000, $500,000. That's what it's going to get to. Or is something kind of different? Are we front running this whole cycle? Is it going to end a little quicker? So for me, because we're already 2 time periods, you know, quicker in terms of getting to that all-time high. Obviously, people talk about ETFs are coming in and so forth, but that doesn't. Still, that for me, that's not enough reason that why is this acting so abnormally than the last cycles. So for me personally, each of these time periods, so we have the 0.5 coming in, you know, in June, the month of June, okay, and then the 618 is coming in at October. So we got these time periods, June, October, and then you're getting into the realm of the normal cycle, April 25th, 2025, and November 2025. So for me personally, like I've always said, June is going to be a key month for me to look at what's happening, because that is the midway point of the cycle, and because this cycle actually is running up so much quicker than the other cycles, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, you know, during the midway point, the 0.5, the 0.5, and also the 0.618, which you know, is between it starts on the October 2024. So around these periods, I could easily see Bitcoin topping this cycle, and you know, topping at over $100,000, you know, depending where it is, maybe 120, 140. But obviously we'll get to price targets once we come to that point. But I don't see Bitcoin getting to the way it's rising, you know, the parabolic nature of Bitcoin right now and the way it's rising. Either you're going to have to get a really big sideways correction and then back up here for the 786, you know, and the 1-to-1, or you're going to just get a parabolic runoff and it's just going to top somewhere, you know, between this period, and then you're just going to get a bear market going down into the rest of the, you know, the other two time periods. I don't see how the cycle is the same as any of these cycles in terms of the price as well. The price is just, you know, the price, when you measure it, the price has gone way above standard, you could say standard time frames. It's just deviated to another extent, because we've never had the price at the 382, which is here. So what we're saying is, during the COVID crash, when Bitcoin went down to $4,000 during this time. So think back to the last cycle, if you remember the last cycle, during that COVID crash, that March, April sort of time, we should be around $18,000, but in actual fact we were only around 8.5, and the low point was $6,500. That's where we were in that last cycle. So if you take that to where we should be now, and I've done this, I've worked it out, we should be around $25,000. If you take both of the last two cycles, the average, we should be around $25,000, not up at 60, where we at $65,000. So there's a big discrepancy of the last cycle and time to this cycle. So that's all I want to just make you guys aware of, is that this cycle is not following the previous cycles in terms of price and time. It's moving a lot faster, in terms of the time. And I know a lot of people are waiting for this period between April 2025 and November 2025, where there should be a top coming in here. If it does, it's great, because the price is going to be crazy high. But personally, I'll be watching out for the next two time periods, which is the month of June and also the month of October. So I'll be looking for top signals around this. And what it could be, what we could have is a wave a wave 3 top in June, and then a final wave 5 top in October, going into this period here, and then a correction. But we'll see. That's just speculation at the moment. But what I'm trying to tell you or make you understand is that the facts are, Bitcoin's going a lot faster and a lot higher than where we have been in the last two cycles. So just keep your eye on that. So the next thing we just quickly look at is dominance, BTC dominance. And I haven't really looked at this chart much, and I've put a few key levels on this chart, and one of them was this 55, or you could say 56%. This was done, I think I posted this chart maybe a week ago now, and for me this was a key level here, that 56%. And obviously you get the deviation above it, and now right now, just as I'm recording this video, we're retesting it again, and it looks like it's rejecting. Now if this level does reject, okay, the number one, that I think will be very bullish for altcoins, and we'll get probably back into this range, and the next target will be about 51%. We can have a really long bleed here for Bitcoin dominance, because this is a monthly level that hasn't been tapped, which now it has. I think this level goes back a couple of years, so it's the first time it's been tapped, and obviously that's why you get this kind of rejection. Now on the flip side, if Bitcoin dominance does continue to go up, the next level above is around 60%. It's about 60%. Personally, it's there, 60.57%. Personally, I think this level could hold as a rejection level, and we can get a very, very strong altcoin move. I know it doesn't seem so at the moment, but I think we can get, if this continues to reject as it is, with this deviation above it, and now coming back in for the retest, I think we could get a nice move down. But let's see anyway. This is just something to keep your eye on for Bitcoin dominance, and something I'll keep my eye on. If this level continues to reject, then we could be going to around 50, 51, 52%. But yeah, that's with Bitcoin dominance, and that's something to kind of watch going forward. Now this is a very interesting chart that I think works well for when you're measuring altcoins against BTC. Now obviously there's total 3, there's total 2 that I always watch. I keep my eye on all of them, but this one with others, and it's others divided by BTC. The reason I like this is because the others chart, it doesn't include stable coins, it doesn't include the top 10 coins in the market. It's the next 125 altcoins that have the highest market cap within the market. So it's a good average, and it's not inflating it by bringing on, you know, all the other altcoins that are coming into the market. So it's got quite a good, gives you quite a good balance of what's happening within the altcoin market against BTC. Now, when I look at this chart, and I'm looking at it all the way back, you know, since 2014. So what I noticed is that you have the low, okay, the low of the cycle, and then altcoins make a nice run up, and then you have the wave 2 coming down. Okay, so if we look here and we just put a fib on this, the first cycle. So let's just put it here, and because you probably get the wave 2. So you see the wave 2 comes down. It came down to the 0.786, which is, you know, you can even get to the .886, but the 786 is 618, 786, 0.5, perfect retracements for a wave 2. And then you get the wave 3 up, wave 4, wave 5, A, B, C, back down to the next bear market. So you got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. Okay, and that's the cycle complete for that one. Now, when I look into the next cycle, okay, the last cycle again, from August 2019 up until September 2020, you had altcoins, you know, running up against Bitcoin quite well. And of course, if you remember back then, you had a big run in August, you know, in August up until I think it was January. And then you had the big DeFi summer that came into play as well. And then you had a big correction leading into, I think that was around December 2020 when Bitcoin made its all-time high. And then you had that massive run up for altcoins, a little correction, and then you had the final top. And this is why I really like this chart, and I'm really going to monitor this chart going forward. And again, you had the, you know, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here again, and I just want to stress really carefully to people who, and I've said this a lot, and it's the same question. They always say Bitcoin always, altcoins always run after Bitcoin has its final top. And yeah, I agree with that. But remember, this final top that comes, so this one was, you know, back in towards the end of January in 2018, after Bitcoin made, I think Bitcoin made 20,000 early January or late December. And again, you can see the date on the chart here. It was, you know, the top was around the 22nd of January. So that's towards the end of Jan, so that was after. That's in Bitcoin's B wave. So, you know, this one's in Bitcoin's B wave of the altcoins. And again, if I show you again clearly, this is why I don't think 70k was an actual top for Bitcoin. It was just a B wave. I know it's hard to understand that concept, but a B wave can break, you know, its number top. So, you know, Bitcoin made its top in April, I think it was April, May, around 66 or 67,000, around there. And then in November it hit 69, but that 69 wasn't a real top, it was just a B wave. And again, I'll show you what I mean here. So this is the third wave up, the strongest wave. So you had the 1, 2 once, and this was around Bitcoin made its all-time high around here. So that's when altcoins were really down in comparison. Okay, and then we made that really strong move up, and that was until May 2021. Everybody remembers that. Things were going crazy. Had the big crash, well, not a crash, a correction, I would say, in the wave 4. And then we had that final fifth up, and that was, you know, towards the end of 2022. So, you know, December 2022, you know, altcoins ran up. I know the high was around November, but altcoins still did run up until end of 2021. So what I'm trying to say here is that you want to get out of altcoins in this wave here. Okay, you got the high move. Personally, obviously, if you want to play it really, really smart, you want to get out here at the top of wave 3, put some money back in at the bottom of wave 4, and then start DC. Then just get out of the market here. Just get out of the market there, because what you have again, and it's just quite easy to see here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, A, B, C, B, and then the big C wave that came down. Okay, and now again, where are we now? And this is the question. The only issue I don't like about this as compared to others, this is not really a great start. Even though we did make, from let's see, June 2023, and I remember tweeting out in June 2023 was a great time to buy altcoins. I myself bought Track at about 20 cents, FET at 20, 21, 22 cents. I think I bought Injective about 5 or 6 cents around that time. And obviously a lot of them did a 10, 20x, up until where we are, January, and then you had until March, and then you had the big, sell off. And what I mean by this is, if we look at the fib retracement from here, and I know things look bad for altcoins at the moment. They don't look great. So where have we come down to? So again, we've come down to the 6, almost to the 786. Okay, now we can even actually put the I can put the the 886 on here. Okay, as a final retracement. Obviously, if it breaks below 3 million, 3 point whatever it is, 43 million, as you can see there, then this is invalidated. This is just that wasn't the low in June, but it's just difficult to believe that, because we've made the altcoins did in front of our eyes. They did make a 10, 20x. We saw it. So that was like the first wave up from June to obviously February, March time. And now what we are seeing is the retracement. Okay, it's a big retracement all the way down to the 7, nearly to the 786. So what that leads me to believe, we're around here. So we got that third wave up again. We're around here. We got that third wave up. So again, this is why it leads me to believe that this next wave up is going to be big. Okay, coinciding with Bitcoin dominance. If I go back to the Bitcoin dominance chart, rejecting here, it looks like it could be something big for altcoins, but obviously we need to see that happen. So this third wave here could be a really, really, really big wave that could be coming up, and we could start seeing ETH outperform a Bitcoin. But obviously, we need to see evidence of that. But this is what I'm thinking at the moment is where the altcoins have come down to. This first wave up, second wave down. We'll get the third wave, which take profits if it does come to that. Okay, if when we break this and it goes up, you must take profits there. And then you get the fourth wave down, you can scale back in, and then obviously when that fifth wave is, that's when Bitcoin will have topped the fifth wave. Let me draw it so you can kind of understand what I'm saying. So you got 1, 2, you'll have 3 somewhere down there, sell 4, and then probably the final 5th sell again. So you personally start scaling out here. You can probably re-enter here and then definitely scale out here, because you're gonna have a big bear market coming up for altcoins. So this is the similar pattern they take, and others slash BTC shows their strength against BTC, and I'm really interested myself to watch how the next few months play out for this, because if my analysis is kind of correct, then you'll start seeing altcoins really, really run in this next leg up. Same sort of situation as the last leg, where Bitcoin made its all-time high. If I take you back there, Bitcoin made its all-time high November 2020, I think it was. Like we said, November 2020. Altcoins at they're very, very low. I remember that time quite well. Altcoins were very low, and then they just shot up in the next few months. So that's something that I'll be watching carefully. So let's look at Bitcoin's current price action, okay, and let's see what's kind of happening here. So we've had the low, an earlier low the other day, right, at $59,000. And if I go into the 1 hour chart, just so it kind of makes sense to see. Now, at the moment there's no bottom confirmed. I can say that at the moment. There's only a potential of something happening. So we have to really make sure that we are aware of that, okay, in terms of what we want to see. So if I take you back to yesterday, yesterday, or the day before yesterday, when it happened. So initially we had a 1 going up, a 1, 2, so we had a 1, 2, and then you had the 3, and then something where we can see when we're wrong, or when the analysis doesn't pan out, and I was actually asleep at this time. So you put the generally the wave 4 doesn't come back into wave 1 territory. So you had the 1, this is, you had the 1, 2, 3, and then as soon as this happened, okay, wave 1, wave 4 basically going into wave 1 territory, this count is invalid, so you can just delete it. This is it's not right, so we can't have that. So now we had the swing failure pattern of the low. So this was just this was a normal correction, ABC correction. Okay, 3 waves up, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 3 waves down. So that's just an ABC, A, B, C, and it's done. And then we have another. But the good thing is we didn't break the channel. We're still within the channel, which is my first point of bullish action. And where I get that from, okay, if I just show you here. So we have the low that was set back, around the 20th of March. So, this channel, I think it's, it should be up a bit, just towards the edge of it. Okay, so, not breaking down here is quite significant, because we're back into the range. Everybody is looking for the break of this, and I myself, I'm looking. If it doesn't work out, that would be a next play, the 58 or 59,183. Basically, what we'd get is something like, what would be bullish if this does happen. So price would come down, it'd come down, take that out, and then go back up, back up. That's what a lot of people are looking for, is the liquidity grab of which hasn't happened. So the door is still open for that one. So, but if we go to current price action, and let's just see what's happening. So, are we going to get another 3 wave and a 3 wave again? And that's something that could easily happen. So, initially, what we can say, we got a 1 going up, 2, a massive 3, and now we're coming into the 4. Now, where's the cutoff point for this again? The top of wave 1, which is around 62,000. You could just call it 62,700. So if this price action hits here, this is just going to be another 3 wave move, and it's not going to be, it's just going to be a 1, 2, 3, then you're going to get another 1, 2, 3 down, which could break the 59,000. So that's something to watch. At the moment, this is early, so if we look at the fib retracements again, so we've got the first one here, which didn't even come anywhere close to be honest, to any retracement. So let's look at the retracement here for wave 4. If this is a wave 4, to be honest, I really want one more push up for a wave 3. So it's we're coming into the wave 4 area, 0.5. Let's add in 0.5 as well. So what we can say is, obviously, if price starts breaking below the 0.5, and this is probably not an impulsive wave, so we have to then be a bit more patient. But at the moment, you can't. It's hard to say whether the bottom's in or not. We just have to carry on, wait for price, see how it develops. If we get a 5 wave move up, 1, 2, at the moment there's not a 5 wave move. It's just a 1, 2, 3, 4. But is this a 4 or is this the end of the move? That's the question you have to ask yourself. So is this going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or is this just going to be A, B, C, and then what you're going to get after that is another, you're going to get another A, B, C. So this is what I'm trying to say. At the moment, we don't know we don't know if this is the start of something, or if it's just another corrective move. So you really have to get 5 waves up before you can confirm that it's actually a 5-wave move. At the moment, we're analyzing price, and yeah, it's just something to look at. But anyway, that's all for today, and I'll continue updating on Twitter, and hope you enjoyed it. Then see you next time.